Hello everybody, this is Big T with TNT's Lawn Care. We recently saw a comment in one of our videos that they're wanting to know how to start and operate this mower. He didn't specifically say this mower or the trimmers or the blower or anything like that, but I'm going to go over all three with you. This is the Snapper Pro and it's got the Kawasaki. Let me show the Kawasaki. I'm a big Kawasaki fan. This is the FX801 big block. It's only 25.5 horsepower. For being a big block, the torque is phenomenal. For 25 horse, don't pay attention to horsepower when it comes to the Kawasaki. You go by the torque. I know he didn't want the specs. Everybody gives the specs, but I'm going to give you a little everything. Kawasaki's start very, very easy. It's not like the Kohler or the Briggs. A lot of the Kohler and Briggs start a little harder than what the Kawasaki does. Kawasaki, what you do to start it, and on this particular model, you're supposed to have the parking brake up. And when you have the parking brake up, which is right here, it's a lever, that's where you can drive it. But to start it, you have to have it up. And you do not have to be sitting in the seat on this one. All you have to do, if it's cold, put it up about half throttle, pull your choke up, crank it over, then as soon as it starts, push it in, they'll take off running. Now after you've mowed with this a little bit, like what I do, going yards to yards, I leave it at an idle and I don't even use the choke. I just crank it over just like this. Off and running. That's just showing how easy the Kawasaki start. They've always been like that for years and years. This has a particular chute blocker on it. Most of them come with a rubber flap, deflector shield. And this just blocks from me throwing stuff on the house. Like you'll notice when I'm filming and when I'm mowing, the person that's filming, I don't want to throw grass or anything like rock sticks, anything like that. So that shuts it off. Then once you get past, open it back up. I like the tube, sorry. Over here. I'm going to sit on the mower and I'm going to show you. Let me set these to the side.
And also a foot pad they put there so you
don't
got
slip. That's right. You got a foot pad here. These decks are heavy duty enough. They are made to step on and get on and off the mower. Now once you have started this mower, just driving around, putting around, you can run a half throttle, 3/4, anything like that, just driving. But if you're going to mow on every single mower, everything that you do mowing, you always mow at full throttle. Never at half throttle or 3/4, full throttle. The engines are air cooled and you're putting just as much pull on the deck when you're mowing at half throttle as you do full throttle. And what happens when it's running at half throttle, the airflow is not as much and it'll make these engines overheat. So you crank it up to full throttle, then over here on the side there's a red button. You pull that up, or yeah, yellow, I'm sorry. Yellow button, you pull it up, that kicks your deck on. Once you get your deck on, which I'm going to turn that off, once you get the deck on, this is your cutting height. This pin allows you what height you want to cut in different holes. You see the numbers? And it's kind of hard to see because this one's worn. But this, get a little closer. These are the even numbers. This is, you know, the 1 inch area. You can see the 1 inch. Sorry, guys, trying to get the camera here. That's the 1 inch area. And this is like 1.25 inches because you got the 1/4 inch here, 1/2 inch area here, and 3/4 here. So here's the 1.25 inches, which this pin is blocking it, and you get 1.75 inches. Don't mow that low. I don't even know why they put them on there. People that mow that low, I've made a video before, you destroy the blades doing this and your grass. But then you get up to 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch. But how it goes is the 2 inch, then you got 2.25 in that slot, 2.5, 2 3/4, so on and so forth. 3, 3 1/4, 3.5, 3 3/4, 4, and all the way up. all the way up when locking the right position, travel position, is 5 inches. So you set your pin, like I usually mow, every once in a while I mow at 3 inches, but I usually do 3 1/4 on my yards. I got one person that likes it at 3 inches, so I do that for him. But 3 1/4 is where I mow. Now, when you start to mow, you push up on it, and you see how that lever works, activates that, pulls it out, you let it down, and it drops down to that pin in that height. Now it's 3 1/4. Now once you're at 3 1/4 and you got the deck going and everything else, when you want to drive, you have to turn that lever down. That releases your parking brake. If you don't, you'll do this and you'll do this and you won't go nowhere. Pull your arms in once you release your parking brake. Push the arms forward to go forward. Bring them back to neutral. Pull them both back to reverse. Then back to neutral. These have 2 hydro pumps on them. This one runs the right side. The left one runs the left side. If you want to turn left, you're going to make this one go forward. They'll turn left. If you want to really spin around, go forward and pull back. That's how they're zero turn. They'll spin right around on themselves. Nice and even to go forward straight, straight to go backwards. You want to turn left, go forward. You want to turn right, go forward with the left. It pushes it around. It's kind of like if you're pushing, let's say, a cart that had dolly wheels in all 4 corners. If you want to push that and go left, you're going to push on the right side to make it go that way. Or if you want to push on the left side to go right, you'll push it like that. Same thing. And that's how this operates. Not a whole lot to it. It's actually simple. People get scared of them, but they're very simple once you get used to them, and you'll never want to go back to tractor style again. I'm hoping I'm covering everything for you. I'm doing the best I can. I apologize. He did point this out, because all we do is we just show the mowing, we show the trimming, don't show how to start it, don't show anything like that. So I'm glad you pointed that out. I hope you enjoy this video. Now let's move on to the trimmer. I'm gonna go get one of the trimmers. All right, this is my trimmer. I run the 2620 Echo. Little T, he runs the SRM 225. They run a lot the same. The only difference is this got more cc's and quite a bit more power. But the 225 is lighter, and I like them both. To start the Echoes, same thing as them Kawasaki's. They start very easy. You got this primer ball.
Oh, come this way.
You pump that primer bulb up. I don't know if you can see.
The shadows in the way.
Sorry about the sun, guys. Pump that up. You can see gas in there. It's nice and full. You'll always have a little air bubble in there. Just get that in there. You got a switch right here. Flip that forward. That's off. That's on. On the Echoes, you don't have to worry about hitting the trigger. This is your choke. Flip it up. That's on choke. And then pull it over until it starts. Once it starts, don't hit the trigger. Just flip that down. It'll start out. Let it warm up. They're a little cold-blooded. Let them warm up for about 10-15 seconds and start pedaling the trigger. This has already been ran. This is warmed up. So I'm just going to start it. Once they're warm, they start very easy without hitting this. Now I'm going to try it without the choke because it's been just a few minutes. Let me show you. See? That's your safety button. And naturally your palm's going to hit that and just hit the trigger. Your line, your head, when you need more line, really by half throttle. If you get a little too much out, it'll automatically cut the line off to the length that you need. And then shut this off, pull it back. That's it.
Do you want to show them how to do the line?
No. I don't know what trimmer it has, and there's so many people have. They got so many different trimmers, different ways to feed line and rewind it.
Yeah.
It's pretty well self-explanatory on that. I'm gonna get the blower and I'll show you on that. Like I said, the comment showed he just looking for how to start and how to run the thing. Didn't specify on what it was that we're using. They wanted to learn and start and run it. So I'm just gonna kind of cover everything that we use. Be right back with the blower. All right, this is the Stihl BG86. This is the one we use.
Oh, right. There you go.
I like it. It really does a good job. Very good. Hasn't failed me yet. I've used it quite a bit last couple of years. Is it better than Husqvarna? No. Is it better than the Echo? No. I do prefer Echo trimmers over any other trimmer. I've used several different kinds, and I like the Echoes. Just my preference. Not saying they're better than anything else. That's what I like. To start this, a little bit different. Stihl can get confusing on some of the stuff they do when they're starting on their blowers, end trimmers too. Got the primer bulb down in there. Can't hardly see it. Hope you can see it. Don't know. Trying to get out of the shadow. Kind of see it. Oh well, maybe you do, you don't. Same thing as trimmer. Pump it up. Get the gas in it. This is where it can be confusing. Not always confusing, but once you're used to it, it's easy. This, you just twist. You twist it over. Don't touch the trigger.
Yeah, I'll come this way.
All right, that's off. That's normal. Turn it all the way over. You can see the trigger move. It sets it at like half throttle when you do the choke. Crank it over till it starts. It'll start revving up. Turn it back one notch. And that gives it half throttle with no choke. And it'll crank up
One notch.
one notch. That's full choke. Once it starts, turn it one notch back. And take off, let it run like that for about 5 seconds. Then just hit the trigger. And then it'll go to normal. It'll go to idle, and then you can rev it. Same thing, let it run. Let it warm up for about 30 seconds. And then spell the trigger and get it blowing. I'll show you on that. It already ran, so it don't really need to be choked, but I'm just gonna show you on choking. How to kill this one? Well, this has got a throttle lock on it. You push this up all the way, it'll hold it full throttle, so you don't have to sit there and hold the trigger all the time. I'll show you. Then push it back down to go back to idle. Then you just use the trigger. How to kill it? Just push it down. It'll kill it. Now it automatically comes back up to the start position. You don't have to worry about, like on the Echoes, you gotta flip the switch to make sure it's on. This one, it automatically comes up, so you can just start and go. Well, that's pretty well it with what we use. Kind of show you all the stuff. Like on the mower, don't forget, after you get done mowing and you do something, you shut it off, your parking brake. Make sure you set it back. Set it back. I got used to doing it all the time because I got to lock it being on the trailer. I put it on the trailer, I lock the parking brake, and I put the straps on it to hold it. So I'm used to it. But some people, they just park it and go. Then when it's down, they go to start it up later. It don't do nothing. They're like, what the crap? I can't believe, why ain't it starting? Piece of junk? No, it's just, you've got to put the parking brake on. So if it don't start, first thing check, make sure your parking brake is up. There are some mowers of this style, Snapper Pros, that you have to be sitting in the seat to start it. It's got a safety switch in the seat, and it won't let it start unless there's weight in the seat. This one is not like that. This one is just, as long as the parking brake's up. Now it's just starts. I love Kawasaki's. That's pretty well it on it.
61-inch deck.
This thing will run at 12 mile an hour. And in decent grass, you can mow at 12 mile an hour, but I defy anybody who can keep your butt in that seat at 12 mile an hour. Even if you put the seatbelt on, you're going to beat yourself to death and you're going to miss half of what you're trying to mow. Sorry, it's the truth. I'd love to get a suspension seat, but them things are expensive. So we go with what we got, and I like this mower. It does everything we need to do. It's heavy duty, and I've ran it through its paces, and I like it. So a lot of people like the grasshoppers. A lot of people like the John Deeres. They like all kinds of different ones. Skag, they're all good mowers. I'm not going to run them down. We worked on all of them. I like them all. They're good mowers. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I answered some questions that you really have. Hope this helped you out. You have a great day. See you guys.